Imagine the hour just before dawn. The air carries electric tension, and the city is breathing secrets through alleys and window panes. You sit in your room, overthinking, dissecting glances and digital trails. One text, one laugh, a stray memory pressing against your mind. Why does doubt feel like drowning and hope sting like sunburn? You believe you've known the face of cheating, that sharp, universal wound. But something shakes at the foundation. What if what you know is wrong? What if betrayal moves with different patterns, rewires itself in the mind based on gender, culture, brain, and emotion? The urgency grips you. This isn't just gossip, stories traded in bars or scrawled in journals. There's a code in the quiet moments, a blueprint in the language of our minds. Every relationship myth you swallowed starts to burn away, exposing something raw. The idea, female and male cheating are not only different, but incompatible possibilities played out on separate mental chessboards. You're hypnotized by the possibility. Does this difference change the meaning of love? Step closer. Truth is a live wire. If you touch it, expect to be transformed. Your mind, your habits, your relationships, none of them will look the same once you see what's coming. Tick, tick. Time to unlearn. Let's call out the lie. Cheating is cheating. It's the same cut, no matter who holds the knife. You've heard it everywhere, from street corners to psych textbooks. Culture pushes the myth, men cheat for sex, women for love, but betrayal is betrayal. All else is noise. But silence falls and the evidence piles up. The mind betrays the popular story, deep in the folds of psychology, relationships, and the brain. The old belief wants you to flatten everything, to generalize, to sweep the details under the rug. Yet, you sense the crack in the surface. What if male and female infidelity arise from different engines? What if these engines run on distinct fuel, confidence seeking in one mind, connection craving in another? Suddenly, the landscape changes. The habits, the risk, the aftermath, every word, every emotion, every thought pattern splits and mutates. Attraction isn't one language, communication isn't one code. You start to ask sharper questions, question your own values, and stare into moments of misunderstanding. The myth is dissolving, and your reality is shifting. Here's where the split begins: values and motives. You see a man chase novelty, the thrill of competition, sometimes driven by status, hunger for validation, and a dopamine rush built by the body's chemistry. In his mind, cheating is often detached, a moment, a transaction echoing ancient instinct. For a woman, cheating is a self-affirmation ritual, a leap toward emotional oxygen. The craving for understanding, reassurance, and affirmation drives her into territory the textbooks rarely map. The pain she feels is unique, not measured by conquest, but by attention denied and emotional isolation. Male betrayal wounds through pride. Female betrayal cuts through belonging. Every habit at home begins to look different. The night silence, the way you talk, the secrets you keep. You look at the psychology and realize the stakes are layered. Self-worth, confidence, acceptance, rejection. These words glow with different intensity depending on the scenario. Relationships were never one size fits all, no matter how convincing the stories seem. Picture this. She stares at the ceiling, silent, while he comes home later and later, mind somewhere else. Her brain is replaying moments, scanning for connection, scouring conversations for lost warmth. Emotional rejection is a slow poison, misunderstanding is a maze she can't escape. Female cheating isn't a grab for adventure, it's a desperate grasp for what's lost, herself, her self-belief, her still beating heart. The pain is sharp, but the longing for validation is sharper. Every heartbeat is an accusation, every absent touch a challenge to her worth. He, meanwhile, scrolls his phone, caught up in numbers, conquests, risk, adrenaline, the language of statistics. His betrayal isn't in the details, it's in the pattern. You see both characters alone with their habits, brains wired by different programs, drifting in parallel universes. The confusion you feel is a message. If you ignore the difference, you'll never crack the code of trust, attraction, or escape your own misunderstanding. Now the microscope comes out. Psychology slices deep. Habits forge destinies. Brains repeat patterns. Emotion rewrites scripts. Male cheating. The brain running to dopamine, a confidence jolt. Sometimes the thrill of forbidden territory, the validation of self-worth measured in adventure. Female cheating, the mind-mapping escape routes through silence, aching for communication, fighting isolation, grasping for new meaning. He's pulled by signal, statistics, story. She's haunted by frequency, feeling, forgotten moments. You live this tension daily. Each argument is a data point. Every act, every motive, every emotion is a clue. Relationships aren't static. Attraction mutates, communication breaks, and reforms. Thinking is a battle, emotion leaks out everywhere, and habits choke clarity. What you thought was sameness is split down the middle. If you fail to study your own mind, you'll always chase the wrong signals. Here's your weapon: awareness over ignorance. In the dark, knowledge is a flashlight. Use it or get lost. Separate surface from shadow. What's visible isn't the whole truth. The mind behind male cheating chases the instant, the rush. It's primitive but surprisingly logical in its self-interest. This psychology is a feedback loop. Flirtation, quick returns, dopamine spikes, then rationalization. You know this story from street corners and locker rooms, bragging, hiding, rewriting the facts. It's a game of image, not intimacy. In contrast, female cheating is almost clinical in its suffering. The root cause festers: emotional starvation, invisible wounds, undelivered affirmation. She's not seeking adrenaline, she's escaping erasure. Examples blossom everywhere. He's the life of the party, she's the ghost in the bedroom. Her cheating is rarely impulsive, often a slow burn through neglect and miscommunication. You realize every relationship narrative is fractured at its core. Habits are reflections, mirrors of unspoken needs. The mind twists to survive. The body follows, and the stories never look the same from the inside. Let's watch a marriage in slow collapse. He works late, she shrinks inside herself. Words are traded, never landed. Nights pass with tension so heavy you feel it in your teeth. He finds escape in nameless messages and shallow victories. For him, cheating is a rebellion against routine, a protest masked as pleasure. Self-worth flashes in moments, then fades. Every unanswered question, every cold dinner, each night spent awake is a mark on her sense of self. Her cheating isn't planned. It's a culmination of secrets built up over years. The stranger who listens becomes a mirror, reflecting the version of her that was lost. When truth explodes, the damage isn't equal. He's accused of recklessness. She's accused of betrayal of the family's emotional core. Pain ricochets and confusion reigns. Who was right? You're pulled between both sides, hearing the war between values. The answer is complexity. Trust is fragile. Habit, emotion, silence all matter. Zoom out. Each gender processes betrayal not just differently, but in survival terms. Male infidelity often surfaces as a risk willingly taken. Ego is at stake. Primal codes are activated. He gambles and rationalizes the mind is a casino. For women, cheating is self-preservation, an escape from extinction by emotional dehydration. The clash of values distills into survival. He wants to feel undefeated. She wants not to disappear. In relationships, these forces act like tectonic plates, friction generating earthquakes. You see arguments that never touch the root, apologies that miss the wound. Attraction is never innocent. Communication is haunted by ghosts of old pain. The mind and habits are always rebuilding, always avoiding the deepest questions. You ask yourself, in your own relationship, are you surviving or thriving? Are your habits nourishing confidence, or are you feeding the shadow of rejection? Life hinges on these small, brutal calculations. Now, let emotions run raw. Frustration is the air you breathe, the sense that something vital is missing. She aches for connection. He wants acknowledgement. Both act, then regret, lost in a fog of misunderstanding. There's pain in sentences half-spoken, arguments breaking the surface, but never splitting open the truth beneath. Uncertainty spreads like mold. Brain patterns crave stability, but habits make chaos. You watch the fallout. Tears, rage, walls going up, and hearts locking down. It's easier to demonize the cheater than unpack the architecture of the betrayal, the scaffolding built from daily miscommunication. Over time, rejection hardens. Confusion becomes the norm. You wear your pain as armor, start to mistrust your own thinking. Attraction loses its shine. Trust corrodes. And the old story, cheating is cheating, offers no relief, no insight. You're left staring at the cracks, longing for clarity. Shadows clear when you stop running. Awareness dawns like a slow sunrise. The old pain is still there, but you see the script behind the play. You start asking deeper questions. Why did you react the way you did? What habits have you inherited or invented? The myths choke progress, but knowledge opens the chest. You notice how your brain responds. Your inner dialogue repeats the same triggers. Old wounds spark new behaviors. You realize attraction can be reinvented, communication can heal, but only if you refuse lazy thinking. Confidence returns not when someone loves you, but when you understand yourself. Street philosophy gives you the brutal truth. The world isn't fair, but you can rewrite your own code. The science says neuroplasticity is real. Habits change when thinking changes. Forgiveness, self-worth, resilience start as private revolutions. This is your inner strength. You feel the tension break. Awareness isn't the end, but it is the beginning of power. Cheating leaves a trail, not just angry voices, slammed doors, and shattered trust, but emotional debris that lingers and morphs. When betrayal is exposed, the psychological damage doesn't play out evenly. It's filtered through value systems, expectations, and cultural scripts. He may feel guilt, shame, or defensiveness, yet often wraps himself in rationalizations, sometimes even denial. His confidence wavers, then patches itself together with bravado or pursuit of new distractions. She finds herself dealing with profound grief and the loss of identity, questioning her self-worth, replaying every moment when her needs were not met. The pain isn't generic. It's custom, engineered by the mind's reaction to the specific betrayal, physical for him, emotional for her. Friends and family swarm, each bringing their own perceptions and judgments. Society often forgives or dismisses male cheating as natural, while female infidelity draws harsher condemnation, even ostracism. The aftermath is a storm, emotions swirling between anger, resentment, loneliness, and secret hope for salvation or reinvention. Recovery demands more than time. It requires a re-examination of habits, motives, and often a full rewiring of the mind's code for relationships. You feel yourself drawn into the mess, whether as participant, witness, or survivor. Your own emotional architecture is not immune from this fallout. After betrayal, desire is different. Attraction isn't erased. It's remixed, reinterpreted, sometimes weaponized. Habits built over years dissolve or become toxic. For some men, the urge to restore the old thrill drives risky behavior, fleeting connections, or a desperate chase for self-validation. That adrenaline from betrayal doesn't fade quietly. It lingers in habits, late-night texts, dangerous games, overcompensation, masking deeper insecurity. Women, meanwhile, face the puzzle of rekindling desire. Breached trust interrupts the ability to feel safe, to seek intimacy. She rebuilds attraction by searching for emotional safety, genuine listening, and self-affirmation. New boundaries are set, old wounds re-examined, sometimes resulting in hard resets of what love and loyalty must mean. The process is never linear. Sometimes ex-partners recycle roles, sometimes strangers play unexpected parts. You see yourself here, questioning whether your habits are healing or hiding pain, whether new attractions are truly healthy or just hopeful distractions. Street philosophy reminds you, the architecture of attraction is not just built from longing, but from self-respect and awareness. Society preaches forgiveness as salvation, yet the reality is muddy. After infidelity, both genders struggle with what forgiveness looks like. For men, forgiveness might mean moving on, ignoring pain, or seeking redemption through action, grand gestures, apologies, working harder to restore the image of strength. To some, forgiveness is even a return to old habits, as if time can dilute the crime. For women, forgiveness is a deeper excavation. It involves grieving lost trust, potentially rebuilding self-worth, sometimes renegotiating the rules of relating altogether. True forgiveness isn't amnesia. It's the willingness to process pain, inspect the motives, and deprogram toxic habits. In couples, forgiveness can be weaponized, used as leverage in future fights, or forced in search of normalcy. But psychology knows forgiveness without understanding only breeds new patterns of betrayal. Awareness is a disinfectant, not a bandage. You ask yourself, are you forgiving to heal or just to empty the pain for a while? The mind's need for forgiveness can masquerade as laziness unless expanded by empathy and insight. Resilience is more than recovery, it's rebirth. After cheating, the mind must rewrite its story, wipe the old code, start from new definitions of trust, respect, and self-love. Some flinch at this challenge, stuck in victimhood or endless analysis. Others slowly reconstruct, one habit at a time. For men, resilience might be building healthier boundaries, learning to communicate vulnerability rather than just dominance. For women, it's often the labor of rediscovering her worth outside the lens of someone else's attention, learning self-validation, constructing a confidence immune to neglect. Both are challenged to avoid repeating the past. Emotional wisdom comes from recognizing warning signs, nurturing habits that honor both independence and intimacy. You realize that every act of resilience is a choice, to process pain or to bury it, to confront hard truths or to accept easy myths. Real resilience, street philosophy says, is brutal honesty, a willingness to face the ugly, to redesign emotional architecture with intention. The mind can be rebuilt, but only if the owner is brave. Once devastation settles, some choose to rebuild. The process is radical. It's not just forgiveness, but a full-scale renovation. Communication must be taught anew, expectations redefined, love reimagined. Couples who survive infidelity do so by inventing new rituals, speaking languages that ignite both passion and security. This is not the naive hope of let's move on. It's the gritty work of showing up, asking better questions, and humbling oneself to the uncomfortable truth that habits must change. Trust becomes a daily practice, not a feeling. Attraction learns patience. Confidence becomes mutual, measured not by risk, but by reliability and empathy. Some relationships, street philosophy notes, emerge stronger, built on shared pain and hard-won wisdom. Others crumble, unable to bear the weight of past patterns. The mind's journey is plain. Old blueprints end in familiar ruins. New ones require risk and vision. You decide whether your relationships recycle stories or become the architecture for a better future. That's the real aftermath, the hidden truth made visible. Step back and let science weigh in. Biology creates rhythms, hormones, drives. Evolution wrote the first draft of cheating, testosterone spikes, oxytocin cravings, evolutionary logic whispering in the dark. Men and women differ not just on the surface, but deep down in their chemical architecture. Yet street reality refuses to be ruled by hormones alone. Culture rewrites the rules daily. What your parents taught, what movies sell, what your friends do after midnight. Male cheating gets explained away by nature, a story old as dust, easy to use. Female cheating? Society's lens is sharper, more judgmental. Culture says men cheat for sex, women cheat for heart, but the real paradox is messier. The mind is an intersection, biology meeting upbringing, values fighting chemicals. Sometimes testosterone creates courage, sometimes insecurity. Oxytocin breeds attachment, but also silent suffering. Attraction, risk, emotional need, they all exist on layered timelines, shaped by personal histories and media noise. You realize understanding cheating means decoding both your animal and your environment, tracking patterns that biology starts but culture finishes. The paradox is this: you were wired for survival, but programmed by stories. Which side wins depends on how awake you are. After betrayal, self-improvement is everywhere. The gym, the therapist's office, self-help podcasts humming in your headphones. It's seductive, the promise of better habits, stronger boundaries, new confidence. Men build muscle, chase ambition, try to rewrite self-worth through achievement. Women sign up for healing circles, journal their pain, hunt for new meaning in every sunrise. But psychology knows something deeper. Self-improvement must go beyond surface rituals. It's not about abs or affirmations. It's about confronting the narrative that led to cheating in the first place. Habits don't change just because you want them to. They change because you see through them, understand the engine underneath. Street philosophy laughs at empty routines. The mind is a magician. You think you're moving forward, but old impulses hide in new clothes. Confidence built on denial will crack under stress. Attraction that's only skin deep dies in the dark. The trap is thinking self-improvement is enough. The challenge is making it real by facing pain, revising story, and forging habits grounded in truth. Cheating never stays private for long. Friends talk, families judge, rumors spread like wildfire. In the aftermath, reputation becomes a battlefield. Men might get a nod, a joke, or a warning, sometimes even secret admiration for rebellion. Women often face whispers, exclusion, moral panic. Society's double standard injects new toxins into old wounds. You feel it in every sideways glance, every loaded comment. Psychology says reputation shapes identity, acts as an invisible jailer. How you are perceived rewires how you see yourself. Relationships are tested not just behind closed doors, but in the open arena where habits, pain, and motives get twisted by gossip. Some crack under the pressure, internalizing judgment and letting it rewrite their confidence. Others rebel, forging new networks, seeking validation in outsider circles. Street philosophy knows your reputation is built by stories, sustained by perception, and destroyed by rumor. The only way out is owning your narrative, not hiding, not apologizing for being human, but holding a mirror to the world and refusing to flinch. Every act of cheating sends ripples through families, especially children. Kids learn habits from what isn't spoken as much as from words. They read body language, tune into silence, sense tension in the air. The psychological impact isn't confined to present pain. It builds the architecture for their own future relationships. Boys might absorb lessons about confidence, risk, or denial. Girls might draw patterns about trust, self-worth, or hiding pain. If betrayal is never unpacked, it becomes generational code. Parenting after infidelity is a minefield. How do you teach resilience without hiding reality? Explain complexity without deepening wounds. Street philosophers know kids remember what you repeat. Habits are passed on like old scars or inherited talents. Attraction, risk, emotional logic, your story shapes theirs. The challenge is breaking patterns, teaching honesty, modeling empathy. Kids ask hard questions, answers shape lifetimes. You see yourself in them, wonder whether you're building a future or repeating a past. Every moment is an opportunity or a mistake waiting to echo. Strip away culture, habit, even biology, and one thing remains: choice. Every act of faithfulness or betrayal is a crossroads. The mind is always calculating risk versus reward, pain versus pleasure, comfort versus challenge. Cheating is rarely an accident. It is the conclusion to 1,000 micro-decisions, most of them invisible. Street philosophy says choice is freedom's price. To love is to risk, to cheat is to gamble, to rebuild is to choose truth over comfort. Psychology notes that habits make choice harder. Your brain wants the familiar, even if it hurts. Confidence survives on brave choices. Attraction grows in honest soil. The consequence is never just a broken heart. It's identity, reputation, generational legacy, the way you walk through the world after the storm. Choice writes new blueprints or scribbles fresh graffiti over old wounds. You sit there, knowing every day is a test. Will you build trust, revise habits, or gamble again on hope? The final truth is this: your choices define not only you, but the story everyone else must live with.